Here are the following needs of doctoral education in the Republic of Belarus. We highlighted 6 main directions of needs for the doctoral education in the Republic of Belarus. They are the following. First one, integration of universities, scientific organizations, and enterprises of the real sector of the economy for conducting scientific work and solving industry problems. The next one is popularization of scientific schools through scientific events and exhibitions. Then development of a methodology of the monitoring the certification of doctoral students, but taking into account labor market requirements, which is very necessary to prepare highly qualified specialists. Then improvement of the system of material incentives for doctoral students and for the supervisors too. Then expand cooperation between universities between universities and foreign partners. And finally, introduction of new forms of organization of trainings, information support, training programs in accordance again with the requirements of innovating development of society. So these are 6 main directions which we need to fulfill to make our doctoral education better. We also can distinguish 5 more specific requirements, specific needs that we want to highlight. These are intensification of the mobility of young scientists and improvement of knowledge of a foreign language, then acquisition of the skills which are necessary for modern labor market, then development of the interdisciplinary relations in the areas of dissertation research at micro and macro levels, at the intersections of specialties, branches of science, including unique, highly specialized areas. Here are also organization and participation in virtual and real consulting centers. So they are going to bring together scientific workers and employers from different countries to quickly respond to changing conditions and requirements of the labor market. And here are also creating joint centers or joint laboratories with unique scientific equipment for real and virtual research of young scientists and for work of scientific schools based on organizations known for their achievements in science. There is also need of introduction of soft skills courses for sure, which we are working on now, and organization of mandatory feedback, like consultations on employment with graduate doctoral students in accordance with the requirement of the labor market, supervising the professional activities of graduates for flexible change of the curricula, and conducting classes with graduate students. So these are our needs of the doctoral education in the Republic of Belarus. Shall I also tell you about doctoral training center in the Republic of Belarus, which we want to provide?
Yes, we have a time.
Yes, all right. So actually our proposal on doctoral training center is based on the needs that we have already shown. So main directions of research and training activities of doctoral training centers are the following. So preparing study programs of scientific specialist training, and the aim of it is to update and enhance knowledge in psychoeducational, scientific, professional, cultural activities. Then practice, applying practice of consulting doctoral students in engineering. For example, consulting in the sphere of mathematics, modeling, to use them in machine building, civil engineering, etc. And also establishment of links with the industry companies, which we think is pretty crucial to make scientific dissertations more relevant. Expected numbers of doctoral students involved. So it's planned to provide activities individually with doctoral students and with groups of them, groups from 5 to 25 people in different directions and levels for master students, doctoral students, etc. Total in the beginning 50 people. Then expected number of training modules, at least 3 soft skills courses and at least 2 interdisciplinary courses in the beginning, of course. And also developing deep and related skills. It's proposed from our side to introduce the course industry tasks, which will improve relations with employers and meet the requirements of the labor market. So here are also main directions of activity of Doctoral Training Center from the point of view of Polsek State University. These are intensification of the mobility of young scientists, intensification of the study of foreign language, acquisition of the skills necessary in the modern labor market, development of interdisciplinary communications in the area of dissertation research. It's also development of highly specialized area of dissertation research at micro and macro level, as it was noticed before. It's also necessary to create a virtual and or real consultation centers and also joint centers or joint laboratories to make scientific research of doctoral students much better and more relevant. Here is also introduction of soft skills courses, of course, and organization of mandatory feedback from graduate doctoral students, from employers, from scientific supervisors to make the training of doctoral students and their scientific research again much better. So staff which needs to be trained, these are scientific supervisors, lecturers to provide courses, heads of scientific departments, young scientists. So courses for sharing. These courses have already been applied at Polsek State University. These are efficient communication with groups, efficient career building, and methodology of research and doctoral study. And cross-discipline courses like ANSYS basic course and ANSYS workbench. Virtual networking of PhD students. We think that this virtual networking platform should be flexible in preparing the network for specific needs and applications and should adjust the workloads across network infrastructure without compromising services, security, and availability. Teaching in virtual environment, we use Google Classroom, Moodle, and Microsoft Teams. But we're also ready to learn on any other platforms we can provide. So that's it. Thank you very much for your attention.